Peace. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to talk about how you have let Babylon and the Matrix distract you from the return of your gods. And you have done this over and over again. Thou Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Let thy will be on earth as so as it is in heaven. You have allowed the Matrix and Babylon to distract you from the manifestation of your gods and your divine beings to this earth. Because even though divinity is manifesting in flesh, in physical form, it still has to be filtered through the massive perception and the massive consciousness of this particular dimension. It has to be filtered. And many of you are on light code lockdown. So you're only seeing reality through the perception of the enemies, through the perception of the handlers. So they're dictating massive perception. They're engineering the dominant narrative. So now you're looking at your gods only through their consciousness filtration system, which is media, which is their educations, their institutions, capitalism. They're filtering your perception. So as your gods show up, you completely miss it. You're only seeing the perceptions or looking at it from the perception that they have allowed you to. You're only seeing it from very mundane and limited perspectives. So you're missing your God every time. Because they have defined and told you what it is, who they are. They're a cult leader. They're just a cult leader. They're a narcissist. It's just mind control. They put emphasis on what you perceive to be human flaws that no one that manifests within this fourth dimensional framework can escape. But you let that be the totality of how you perceive these divine entities. Not realizing that this whole plane of illusion, this Maya, is rigged. It's based on duality. It is the manifestation of a contradiction. And once you go beyond the contradictions, now you have transcended the illusion. Now you're starting to wake up. When you're no longer caught up in the conundrum of contradiction. And you can see the divine reality in and through it all. And now at that point, you're seeing the manifestation of these divine beings and entities that continue to come. They continue to incarnate in your dimension. Coming to wake you up. Coming to give you a taste of the infinite and ultimate reality. But you can't see outside of your prison. You can't see outside of your matrix, outside of Babylon, outside of the codes. You can't see outside of the script and the movie that they have placed before you to have nothing but negative perceptions, negative context. Your gods have already shown up multiple times. You're still asleep. Your Messiah has returned in several different ways simultaneously. You are still asleep. Because you cannot see beyond the reality that they have dictated for you of how to perceive your experiences, what your experiences mean, what the ultimate conclusion is. You're still going to lower life form entities, lower life form beings, disagreeable beings, vampires, exploiters of your energy field, going to them looking for understanding and guidance, salvation, trying to make things make sense according to them, letting them define your world, so you're missing the return of your gods. And they have you looking for the return of a fake Messiah. They have you looking for the return of a white God. A milquetoast, punctified, sissified, homogenized, faggot Messiah. They have you looking for that, waiting on that to come back, waiting on that to return. And you're missing the return of the ancient ones that are right in front of your face, that just keep showing up. It's obvious, it's evident, but you are distracted. Because you can only see reality through their filtration system, which is victim consciousness, which is the demonization, the condemnation, and the niggerization of your deities. They make you throw away your gods. They are just expendable. You keep missing it. This is your opportunity. Because this plane, this consciousness, won't wake up, won't elevate until you get it finally. And say, you know what? I'm no longer going with the massive misconception anymore. I didn't come here to sleep. I came here to wake up. And then that's when the energy and the frequency will start to elevate for you. But you have to stop buying in to their false conceptual framework. They're framing your gods and your deities, your enlighteners, as something negative, and you just falling for it. You just falling for it every single time. You must step outside of their frame and be able to see the infinite reality of what is before you. Your God has returned and is here and is on earth. But you have to wake up, and you have to see beyond the veil. You have to see beyond the illusion. You have to see beyond the false reality that's dictated to you. They make the limitations of how perception expands on this planet. They make that the ultimate reality as to how you cannot perceive the divinity of the return of your gods. They say that your God is defined by the limitations that are here. When it's your job to go beyond those limitations, don't get caught up by those distractions. Don't only see the negative, i.e. negate, to negate the gods. And now you woke up. You're not seeing a nightmare no more once you wake up. The enemy is giving you a nightmare. Every time you look at your gods, he has a nightmare for you. Something that is scary, that is fearful, that is spooky. Something that is creepy, something that is weird, something that is pushing you away from your very gods and making you embrace Babylon and its false reality as being the dominant reality for you, as being your dominant focus. I had to go in on it. This is part 1. Join my website, www.kingnobleBlackSupremacy.com. Donate and don't hate.